Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to work on a recovery sequence that's going to be really good for the legs, the low back, and the hips. So let's get started in a child's pose. Go ahead and bring the big toes together to touch. Let the knees go nice and wide, and then just let those hips sink back over the heels. Feel free to either reach the arms out in front, or maybe you want to bring them down by your side. Your choice. Letting the forehead rest gently on the mat. We'll just begin here by taking a few nice, slow, deep breaths. And we can do those together. So on our inhale, we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for just a second. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and continue that breath pattern on your own. If that works for you, great. If it doesn't, do whatever works best for you. Just trying to put more tools at your disposal. For me, I find that breathing my inhales and exhales at about the same length can be really soothing, really calming, really great for recovery. So something to try, and maybe you want to shorten the length. Maybe you inhale and exhale for 3 or 2, depending on your body. So just something to think about this morning. And then if not already, go ahead and reach your arms out in front of you, planting the palms. Fingers are going to go nice and wide. Even strengthening the arms so much that you're actually going to make sure that your elbows are off of the mat at this point. So there's a lot of strength and tension through your arms. From there, we're going to rise up. And we'll tuck our toes, lift the hips, and press back to downward facing dog. And feel free to move around here. This is our first one, so maybe you pedal the feet out. That can actually feel quite nice. I really like coming up on my toes, kind of pausing in different places. It allows your feet to get a nice little stretch as well. But feel free again, moving around as you'd like. And then when you're ready, just find some stillness. And from here, on our inhale, let's reach the right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, we're going to step it through between the hands, setting the back knee down. And we're going to hang out in this dragon pose. So letting the upper body hang nice and heavy over that right thigh. The head and neck can also be heavy, trying to release any tension. Kind of the goal, or what you're looking to feel here, is a stretch in that left hip flexor. So think of letting that hip hang and be really heavy towards the ground. Letting the weight of your torso also kind of help aid in kind of letting you find that depth. Now we're going to keep the legs where they're at, or maybe I should say the feet. We're going to shift the hips backwards, walking the hands back as well, straightening through this right leg. So this is half front split. Trying to keep the chest nice and lifted, the lower belly engaged to help keep your balance. You have a couple options here with your foot on the right side. So you can point the toes. That actually gives a nice stretch along the front part of your shin. Or you can flex the toes back, which is going to give you a nice calf stretch and also continue up into the hamstring. It's a hamstring stretch regardless, but depending on what you do with your toes will allow you to kind of feel something different. So maybe play between the two can feel really nice. And then when we're ready, we're gonna shift it back forward, planting the palms, tuck that back toe and lift the knee, and then we'll press back to down dog. Just moving around again as necessary. We'll take it on the other side. So on our inhale, left leg's gonna reach high. Exhale, step it through between the hands. Setting that back knee down, releasing the toes. And then just, again, hanging out nice and heavy over this left thigh. Really focusing your attention on that hip flexor on the right side. Then from here, let's shift the hips back, walking the hands back as well, straightening through this left leg. And again, you can either point or flex the toes, maybe alternate between the two. But keeping the low belly nice and strong to help you balance. As easy as this pose looks, once you get into it, you'll realize it actually takes some focus and some balance. From here, let's shift it forward. Let's plant the palms, tuck that back toe, lift the knee, and press back to down dog. We're gonna hit dragon pose one more time on each side. So inhale, reach the right leg high. Exhale, step it through between the hands, setting the back knee down. This time, we're gonna climb the hands up onto that right thigh. And think of really reaching the chest up, reaching the crown of the head up towards the sky. So stacking that upper body over your hips. While simultaneously think of growing through the upper body, think of letting the lower body sink. So letting, again, that left hip kind of sink towards the ground. Now we have the weight of our torso in a different position, kind of helping to aid that stretch for us. And then we'll shift it back for half front split. Again, using whichever toe variation you prefer. Maybe you're still feeling it out. Every day is a little different for me, so I like to have both at my disposal. Let's go ahead and shift it forward. Plant the palms, tuck the back toes, lift the knee, step back to down dog. Take just a few breaths here. Really pressing through the arms, letting the heels sink towards the ground, sloping the hips up towards the sky. Then inhale, left leg reaches. Exhale, step it through between the hands. Back knee down, release the toes, climb up that left thigh. Think of drawing the shoulder blades together to kind of find that lift with the chest, and then letting that right hip sink towards the ground. Still breathing here, always breathing. And then let's go ahead and shift the hips back, straightening through that front leg. We'll be here just a couple breaths. We'll shift back forward, plant the palms, tuck the back toe, lift the knee, step back to down dog. Now here in our down dog, take a look at your toes at the back of the mat. We're gonna walk our hands back to meet the toes. And here we're just gonna hang in this forward fold. So you can grab opposite elbows if you like here. You can let the arms dangle down towards the ground. You're welcome to really bend your knees nice and deep and even lay your belly on your quadriceps. Or if you want to straighten the legs a little bit more, feel free to do that. There's really no right or wrong. You just want to feel a nice stretch along the back side of the body and even into your low back and your upper back here, letting the weight of your head kind of pull your neck and allow it to lengthen. Let's go ahead and release the arms if you have hold of them, and then nice and slow, just think of one vertebrae at a time. We're going to roll up the spine all the way to standing. Once we get there, let's walk to the top of our mat. We're going to do a couple of vinyasas just to kind of warm up the body, lengthen and strengthen everything. But inhale, go ahead and reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up, maybe arch a little back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plant the palms, step it back to plank. Let's hold it here for just a moment. So think of squeezing the inner thighs together, pressing the heels back towards the back of the room, really pressing strong and firm through the arms and hugging the low belly in. And go ahead and set it down, nice and slow, coming to the belly. Inhale to cobra, elbows squeeze. Exhale, press back to downward facing dog. You can come through hands and knees, or you can press up through a push-up. I'll be showing you both options as we move through our vinyasas. So inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, walk, step, or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plant the palms. Step back to plank and lower slow. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, press through plank or press through hands and knees to downward facing dog. Between each round, recollect yourself in your down dog, catching your breath, but really working to breathe with each movement in our vinyasa. So on your inhale, glance between the hands. Exhale, walk, step, or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up, maybe arch it back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plant the palms, step back to plank, and lower to the ground. Inhale, cobra pose, pressing the tops of the feet. Exhale, downward facing dog. Getting there however you want to get there. Let's do one more. This time I'm going to talk you slowly through the step forward. So inhale, look forward. Exhale, walk, step, or jump. So think of we're going to bring our left leg forward here. Left knee towards the chest as you shift the shoulders over the wrists. And then, best possible, try to step it forward. Maybe you have to creep it up a little bit, and that's fine. From there, I kind of like to do the same action on the opposite side. So knee to chest, planting the foot. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach it up. Forward fold, exhale. Lengthen on the inhale. Exhale, plant the palms. Step back to plank. Lower nice and slow. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now from our down dog, we're gonna find pigeon pose. So on our inhale, we're gonna reach the right leg up. Exhale, right knee is gonna go towards right wrist, and then the ankle towards the left wrist. Now that would be best possible. For me, I have to always tend to kind of creep that heel back towards my left hip. My shin is not typically parallel. If you can get it there, great. If not, you're in good company. So the goal of this pose is to feel a nice stretch in the right outer hip. So wherever that means that this leg is, go ahead and find it there. For me, I also like to kind of creep my left leg back once I get my right leg where I want it to be. And then from here, if you want, you can come down to your elbows, maybe resting your head on the mat or your forearms. But we'll hang out here for a good 5 to 10 breaths. Let's take one more breath here. And then nice and slowly, just walk the hands back up. Let's tuck that back toe, lift the knee, and then step back to down dog. Just adjusting as necessary. And then we'll take it to the other side. So inhale, left leg reaches high. Left knee comes towards left wrist. Left ankle towards the right wrist. And again, adjusting as necessary. So that you're feeling that nice stretch on the left outer hip. And then again, if you want to come down to your forearms, feel free. Let's take one more full breath here. And then nice and slowly, again, walking the hands up, tucking that back toe, lifting the knee, and pressing back to down dog. This is going to be our last down dog of this class. So feel free maybe to take it a little wide. You can take the legs wide and the arms wide, maybe grabbing the outside of your mat. Can feel really nice. And then when you're ready, just go ahead and set the knees down. And we're going to slowly make our way onto our backs. And once we're here, go ahead and draw the knees into the chest. We're going to find a happy baby pose. So for me, I like to knees into the chest, separate the knees a little bit, and then my arms go inside the knees. From there, my hands grab the outside of my feet. And then I think of drawing my knees towards the ground and pressing the soles of my feet towards the ceiling. Now, this pose is called Happy Baby because typically you'll see babies easily get into this pose, be laughing, be giggling. For us as adults, often it's a lot more challenging to get into this pose. So just try to channel your inner baby, if you will, and think of like how funny this position really is. But it actually feels really nice on the low back, on your hip flexors. So think of really letting the tailbone be heavy and stay in contact with the ground. Try not to have it be lifting up. Just think of having a nice long low back, even if that means adjusting your feet. And then I think of the soles of my feet pressing towards the sky while my knees draw towards the ground. So maybe you want to even rock it a little side to side here. Massage out the low back. And then we'll release, bringing the knees back to the chest. Let's hold on to the right knee, let the left leg go heavy. And then right arm out towards the right wall. And then we're going to bring the lower body over to the left. Your gaze can be either straight up towards the ceiling, or maybe you want to take it over towards that right hand. Working to try to keep the right shoulder on the mat, rather than so much having the legs meet the ground on the left side. So more of an upper twist than a lower twist. Last full breath here. Coming back through center, hugging both knees in. Keep hold of the left leg, right leg goes flat. Left arm out, palm faces down, shoulder to the mat. And then we're going to twist the lower body towards the right side of the room. And again, gaze can be towards the ceiling or over towards that left hand, depending on your neck and what feels comfortable for you. Last breath here. Coming back through center. Hug both knees into the chest. We're going to give ourselves one last squeeze, maybe lifting the chest and shoulders off the mat, bringing the forehead towards the knees. One little squeeze, and then release. Just let everything go heavy. Take your arms and legs nice and wide. You can go even as exaggerated as like a starfish position. Really wide, having your 5 points of contact with the ground. But we'll be here for just a few moments, allowing ourselves to recover a little more and let all the good work that we've done sink into our bodies. So enjoy. Now nice and slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, just roll over to either side and pause for a moment. And then when you're ready, go ahead and press yourself up to a seated position, whatever is most comfortable for you. And we'll just close class with some gratitude. But thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you feel better than when you started. I hope that you are grateful for all that your body can do for you. It really is amazing. But thank you for taking time for yourself. So namaste. The light in me honors the light in you.